Bloop bloop.
Testing 1, 2.
Really? Do you really have? This is how we're really gonna start off this damn podcast by this way. Luckily, we're gonna delete this at the end of the day anyway. So I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I missed this intro. I miss you guys. We are back. John Quinavi here on Facebook Live, the John Quinavi Sports Podcast coming to you live. It's been a while, guys. How y'all been?
It definitely has been a while, man. It's great to be back. Great to talking up with my boys. COVID still can't hang out to each other, but it's great to be here. Like you said, I missed that intro, man. Miss hearing it.
It's been too long. It's been too long, but we're here, we're back, and we're better than ever.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're always better. We're trying to get better each and every day, each and every show. So that's our motto here. And speaking of which, guys, I think the new motto is for us as Bears fans is technically, okay, what else? I think that's the perfect example. They got drugged, they got beat down badly by the Packers over the weekend. I think it's just I feel this way because we lost to the Packers in the way we did. I think if it was anybody else but the Packers, I probably wouldn't feel as crappy as I do today, even though it's already been like 3 days after. So it's just one of those mainly reasons on how like the Bears season has literally gone down ever since starting 5-1.
Yeah.
And I think what hurts the most about it is the way that they started. Yes, I understand Packers went down score on the first drive, but the drive that the Bears had right after and that 57-yard run by David Montgomery, I guess gave me a little hope that the Bears could actually be in this game, and that was like probably the closest they ever gotten to a close game. Guys, let's keep it short. Let's keep it simple. We don't want to talk about this because there's other news around in other different sports today. But guys, what do you guys think? How do you guys feel about that 3 days later after the Bears game?
Go ahead, Jose. Go ahead. You go first.
Hey, man, don't talk at once, guys.
No, honestly, I think you guys know my stance, but for the viewers and everybody at home, I've said it in the beginning of the season. We weren't going anywhere this season. It was apparent Mitchell Trubisky couldn't get it done, which is why he got benched for Foles. And I think even after the first loss Foles had, again, it was apparent like he's not the key. He's not our future. He's not our answer. And more in games that he played and more games that he started just showed it, and it proved it. And now we went back to Mitch, and now Mitch again. He had every reason. I mean, I think we were all in agreement that we wanted him to start, and he had every opportunity to go out there and show that he was at least a decent quarterback, and he couldn't even do that. And at this point, we're just like, what's next? Like you said, Eric, what's next? Like what? Not now what? And I honestly, it's just frustrating as a Bears fan because we need change, we want change, and it's not coming as soon as we want it to.
No, man, you're definitely right. Sorry. I mean, back to what Jose was saying, as far as Mitch did have every chance to come in this game, make it a statement game, but him not performing, it's like, was it really a surprise? The O-line is still terrible. The whole offense as a whole is terrible. To make it worse, it seemed like the defense didn't even show up this game. I still stand by the same stance as I said like the last time we were on was probably feels like a month ago, but I think you don't necessarily need to rebuild the whole team, but just blow up the offense. I think even more, it shows pace needs to go. Now, Nagy's seat has to be on fire. I think it's a coin toss. They can say, you know what, let's build the offense how you want it, or just get rid of him too and just, whatever GM's next, let him pick his head coach. I can see it going either way, but it's definitely it's the offense. Like, I will say there are some plays that Mitch avoided a sack, which would have been a sack if Foles was under center. But either way, it's like Allen Robinson's still dropping the ball in the end zone. Our run game, besides from that, what is it, the first drive we had? Montgomery, the run game is still not existent. I think Cordell Patterson, who's been used so much this year, had like less than 15 rushing yards this game. Crazy, but it's like the offense is still crap. Like I said, we gotta blow it up. My only fear is we're not going to be high enough to draft like a top QB, and whoever we do draft isn't going to be ready to take us into the playoffs next year, based on where we'll be drafting him.
Which is why you don't draft the QB. You start off the offensive line, man. I'm sorry, but that needs to be your focus.
And I think we're better off going to get a QB in free agency. Because even Foles back next year with a decent O-line, that's saying they do draft a good, decent O-line, you still can't trust Foles for a full year.
I know, most definitely, and that's where the issue begins. I think it begins where on the most important side of the ball, and which is the offensive side of the ball, which is definitely the offensive line, which is definitely the quarterback. I think even with a decent quarterback and with behind that offensive line, maybe we've probably done a little bit more magic. Probably not. Maybe we've been the same. Maybe not. Who knows? Right. But obviously the offensive line has to be, it has to be literally the number one concern coming up in this. I don't care if your first 3 draft picks are offensive line, offensive tackle, offensive guard, offensive tackle, or guard, tackle, or whatever the case may be. But that's basically your main priority, and maybe find a 1 or 2 to be a free agency. Maybe give Allen Robinson. Maybe Allen Robinson is not worth the 12, 13, $11 million that you wanted to first give him at the start. Boy, he didn't want. Maybe you do go out and might probably get out James Winston, or maybe if Cam decides to not sign back with the Patriots again, big money, maybe you do go for that aspect. But there's different questions to be asked. But then at the same time, we're doing all this, guys. The defense gets 1 year older. The defense gets 1 year of a season where it's just another year wasted. It's basically because of one side of the ball is not up to par. It's literally affecting the other side of the ball, which is up to par. And honestly, I think Sunday was actually noticed that you could. I think Coach Dungy said it himself. It looks like the Bears defense kind of gave up. And to be honest, I would too. I know it's a game amongst men, and I know saying giving up is the cheap way to saying or you don't want to say it, guys, but you can tell. You can easily tell whether if it's Chuck Pagano in his system or Vic Fangio in his system, whether if it's the defense not coming up to par, whether if it's Hakeem Hicks not being there, whether if it's also Eddie Goldman not coming out of the season too as well, whether if we put all this into, you still pay your money to Robert Quinn, you still pay money to Khalil Mack, you still got Danny Trevathan there, you still got Roquan Smith, who is actually leading the teams in tackles and actually is your only best defensive player this year. Eddie Jackson looks like he took a step back after getting paid. Kyle Fuller is still doing Kyle Fuller. He's still doing great, but nothing's going his way. The rookie Johnson looks like he's going to be a very good player. Put that all into one, guys, and yet we're here at 5-6, playing against last place Lions with no confidence whatsoever. Right, with no confidence whatsoever, and it's one of those reasons like if they lose, great, better draft positioning. If they win, it's just like, well, they're still alive for the playoffs, but
we're in the hunt. If we win, it's like we're not as worse than the Lions,
right?
But
guys, if they win,
we're tied with the Vikings now.
Right, but if they win, they have opportunity going back to 500.
Right.
Let's be honest. They look at their schedule coming in. They're playing a lot of last place teams, or at least teams with low records, lower than that.
For the Packers.
I think if we finish 500, it saves Nagy's job because then he would still not have a losing season since being head coach.
And that's where I'm getting to. Like imagine winning at least 3 out of the next 4? How many more games we have?
Sounds about right.
Imagine something like that, right? Imagine getting to that point, right? We're 8-8. Let's just say we're 8-8. That John's absolutely right. Then Nagy's back for another season, and then what? And then what? You know, it's just a continued hell that we're just in, that we're stuck in.
I,
It doesn't go away.
I, I think if you go 8-8, then it's a very more an evaluation more on the McCaskies than anything on Ted Phillips and anything. Then it is on Ryan Pace or Matt Nagy, because at the end of the day, the ones that have to make those business decisions, those hard decisions, that not only drafting your team but how to draft or how to create an organization, actually falls under McCaskey and Phillips. So you go there and you're like, all right, well, if we fire Brian Pace, all right, cool. We fire another coach, we still have to pay him another year. We got to get a new GM. We got to pay him. We got to get a new coach. We got to pay him, so on and so forth. And it keeps on going. Oh, and by the way, guys, we got to fix the offensive line. We got to get a quarterback. So basically, no matter what GM / head coach, maybe a head coach could probably fix a few things for 1 year and then tinker with it in the year after that and to keep tinkering with it year after year. Or maybe, like John said, you blow it up, boy. If you blow it up, you blow it up. You don't keep Khalil Mack. You don't keep Hakeem.
No.
You don't.
I said blow up the offense.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Like, I know what you mean by blowing up the offense.
I don't think we need to go into a complete rebuild. All we need an average offensive line with the average QB. So we don't have to blow up the defense yet.
I understand that.
We need to make the right picks next year.
I hear you. I understand that, and I hear you. But at the same time, it's just like, are you going, like, if you're going to blow it up and just blow up one side of the ball, then you're putting another year of this defense, and it's just another wasted year. So instead of wasting another year, I mean, looks like you could trade Kyle Fuller and get some draft picks back. It looks like Johnson could be a decent cornerback, right? You find his other partner, whether if it's free agency or the draft. You keep Roquan Smith because he looks like he's going to be the leader of your defense, sooner rather than later, right? And you probably keep I don't know who else you keep on the defensive side of the ball. Eddie Jackson, for sure, you got to keep because you pay him the money. But if you want value from him, you could get value from Eddie Jackson because what team doesn't want a safety?
I don't think you need to do that, though, right? I mean,
I understand. No, I understand.
Look at 2018. But look at 2018. Right,
So
but look
you're
at
just saying
2018.
in case we do.
Right, I'm just saying.
That's what it looks like.
The thing is like this. You look at 2018, the defense was dominant, right? It was the offense who was subpar, but still got us to the playoffs. That's what that's to John's point. That's what you need, at least an average offensive line, average quarterback. Now, you need. But that being said, in order for that to work again, you need a new head coach. They fired Levy when he was 10-6. Even if Nagy goes 8-8, fire him. Why not? You did it before. To a well accomplished head coach, way better than the one you have now. Do it again, right? Get a new GM in, get a new head coach, and get some new voices. Who's going to draft and get some new faces, some better players, work on the offensive line, and then see what you can do from there. Leave the defense intact. Don't trade a generational player like Khalil Mack because, again, it's why? Why would you? You still got to sell tickets. If you're the McCaskies, if you're the Bears, you need something to bring in the views or the fans or whatever. I don't know if fans will be able to go into the game next season, but just in general, you need that player. Let Khalil Mack be the face of the franchise. Work around him, but more importantly, work on the offensive line and the quarterback, and see what you can do. Because like I agree with John, you get an average offense, and just work on the defense. Get a new head coach with a new defensive play caller, and boom, you're back. You're back in the playoffs, especially in the NFL where every year is different.
You want to get rid of Pagano too?
Yeah.
I honestly, to be honest, guys, as crazy as this might sound. As crazy as this might sound, I'd rather just give the coaching position to Pagano if you want to get rid of Nagy.
You said that a couple weeks ago in our group chat.
Right.
Do that only if you fire Nagy this season. Only.
No, right. Only if you fire Nagy, right? But I mean, if you
I don't see Nagy gone.
Pagano was a good coach. Remember, he did crazy things in Indianapolis with Andrew Luck as a rookie quarterback. Yeah. He took them to the first round of the playoffs. Every year they progressed. Then he got cancer. Then he was out for a year, and then they just blew it
Andrew
all
Luck
up.
was a beast. Come on now, Andrew Luck was a beast.
No, I understand that. So
he came back from cancer, and Indianapolis did bad. Let's be honest.
Right, but every year, like his first year, they did wild card, then they lost. They won the wild card the year after that, and then they lost the next round. They won the two next round, and I think they lost in the AFC Championship game against the Patriots, which was the Flakegate, by the way. That's the only reason why they lost. And then the year after that, he got cancer and was gone for the whole year. That's how Bruce Arians got his opportunity and becoming the head coach of the Cardinals, I believe, the year after that he was gone. Then he came back, and it was never the same because Andrew Luck was never healthy. Offensive line sucked. Running game wasn't existent, and it was just bad overall. So I mean, if you want a head coach, guys, you already have him there with Chuck Pagano. Why don't you just promote him, let him find his offensive coordinator, because he looks like he knows how to get a good coaching staff behind him. He worries about the defensive side of the ball. The other person worries about the offensive side of the ball, and we got the case closed. But the thing is that you have to fix this whole entire offense at the end of the day.
That's the problem right there. If you're going to switch head coach, that means what about your GM? Your GM is when he makes those calls when it comes to getting the right players, switching
Exactly.
all those players.
That's what pays us first.
I think whatever GM comes in, if he wants to play it smart and play it safe, then you already have your head coach in the staff in Pagano, right? But if there's a GM, like every GM does and every GM wants to put their own people and their own faith into their own things, then obviously the route is going to be inevitable that, both Nagy, maybe Pagano, and everybody else, Laser, and everybody in this coaching staff will be gone by the end of next year. It just depends on what GM you get. And that's the thing. The John Konawi Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live. We're talking about the Bears. Obviously, we'll talk about them a little later on the show. We're just gonna go on a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. When we're coming back, guys, I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited about the NBA and golly gee Willikers, man. These guys know how to break news. We'll tell you what's going on when we come back.
Hey everybody, it's Jose here from the JCA Sports Podcast. I wanted to inform you that you have the opportunity to promote your business on our show. That's right, we can give you and your business a shout out live on our show. All you have to do is slide into our DMs. Leave the info and we can help spread the word out on your business. All we ask in return is that you do the same for us. A shout out for a shout out. Tag us on your page for all your friends to hear us break down the world of sports the only way we know how. It's the JCA Sports Podcast weekly on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Spotify. We are back to the hardest hitting talk show around.
Deep drive, way back. Ball game over.
This is the JCA Sports Podcast.
The John Konawi Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live. Eric Aguilar, Contreras, Jonathan Pelayo, the John Konawi here on Facebook Live. Guys, we were just talking about the Bears. We'll talk about them a little later on, guys. The NBA literally knows how to break some news. Literally, since free agency started, let's just be honest. All hell broke loose. Everybody went here. Today's news, though, was the biggest news of them all. And, guys, I want to know how you guys feel. Russell Westbrook to the Washington Wizards for John Wall and a first-round draft pick. Now, if now you want to break some news on a Wednesday where NFL just finished probably 2 hours ago, and all the other news that's been happening, plus the NBA draft, guys, let's just be honest. The NBA is coming for the NFL's rear end, and it might take over the NFL really, really soon.
I think
I
so.
think,
You're right about that.
No, I think you guys are a little too excited. I think. Personally,
I mean,
the way I look at it, it's a trade involving big names, but both teams aren't going to go anywhere. They're not going to the championship either team.
Don't be a poop. Don't be me, bro. Come on now. Don't be me.
That's just how it is. No one's expecting Harden to finally deliver a championship this year. Westbrook with the Wizards, that's not a championship. It's great for him to get away from Harden so he can go back to doing him. John Wall, he got to stay healthy. What is he? He was paid 2 games in 2 years or something like that, or 5 games, whatever it is. He's being overpaid, not healthy, and at the end of the day, neither team is gonna make it to the NBA Finals.
I can't disagree with you more. I cannot disagree with you more, John. Let me tell you why. Harden and Westbrook did not have any chemistry together. They're both two guys who need the balls in their hands. Now, I think it's better for the Rockets if they keep Harden, and now that they have John Wall, who's more of a facilitator, who passes the ball a lot more. I think he's going to complement James Harden a lot more than Russell Westbrook did. Again, because
if he's healthy, yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's the thing.
The whole team, not just Harden, the whole team.
He has to stay healthy
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, and you're right. But I honestly feel like it's a good trade for the Rockets more so than the Wizards. But Russell Westbrook is not your superstar. He's not a LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to carry the team to a championship. He's a Robin. He's not a Batman. You know what I'm saying? He needs to be with someone like LeBron or with someone like KD. You know what I mean? In order for him to win a championship. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, to get over that hump, I believe so.
Yeah, but John Wall going, with James Harden, I think that's a good fit. I really do. I mean, you give up what all you're giving up is Russell Westbrook, and you're getting a first rounder
And the first round, they
and
came
a
up
first
and
rounder. I
picking up.
applaud the Houston Rockets. I really do. That's a good trade for them. A great trade.
I'm telling you guys, and trust me, like it just got bigger. I think LeBron James also today signed a 2-year max deal for 85 million to stay with the Lakers, right? Anthony Davis is obviously still a restricted free agent. Brandon Ingram. Let's just go on to the news, and I'm just giving you guys what the free agent value of the market is out there. So Anthony Davis is a free agent who's the number 1 player out there, right? Brandon Ingram signed a 5-year max deal with the stay with the Pelicans. Fred Van Vliet, who is basically the most richest undrafted player to have a max contract from the Raptors, 4 years, 85. Gordon Hayward made that move, whether if it's shocking or not, however, depending how you see it, because it hasn't been the same Gordon Hayward ever since he left, ever since he had that injury. 4 years, 120 with the Hornets.
I would say
Right,
it was
very,
it was, a shock. It was a shocking move.
right. You got Marcus Gasol following his brother's footsteps, going to the Lakers. Serge Ibaka going
That
from
was
the
a shocking move.
Raptors to the Clippers. Paul Millsap staying in. The list keeps going. Christian Thompson going to the Celtics for a
Right.
2-year
They
deal.
definitely they've been moving. NBA, like you said, has been free agency's
Right.
been
Chris
popping.
Paul
It's been going
traded.
off.
Chris Paul was right. Chris Paul was traded to the Suns like a week or so ago. Plus, they also got Jay Crowder, which was a very good signing from them. That's a very good. Now you talk about Devin Booker, Chris Paul, Christian Thompson, Jay Crowder. I mean Christian Thompson, Jay Crowder, and who's the other guy that they have right there too as well? I'm blanking on his name. But the Phoenix Suns are going to be a very, very scary team.
Oh, they're on the up and up. They're on the up and up for sure.
They
Right,
definitely are.
and now you got today's trade where you got John Wall, like Jose said, a facilitator going to Houston with the guy that shoots like 67 shots a game, and James Harden, but he's gonna get the ball now a lot more than that. And you got Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal together going, in the East with the Washington Wizards. Let's be honest, the East is as wide open as it was years prior. It's starting to look like the gap is starting to get a little closer now. You know what I mean? You still got the Boston Celtics. You got Miami Heat, who went to the finals last year with Jimmy Buckets. Depending how the Hornets are, the teams are gaining a lot more
This man
strong.
said the Hornets.
Hey man, look,
Milwaukee, man, Giannis is still there.
Milwaukee.
Oh man.
So you got all of this going, guys. You and all this is going, and now it's
At
the
the end of
Brooklyn
the
Nets.
day, it's still the
The
same
Brooklyn
teams
Nets.
that are favored to win. But I will say, this year am on the Nets hype train because you got a healthy.
That's the team to watch for, especially. Didn't they get somebody else too outside of Kyrie? Right, outside of Kyrie, didn't they get somebody else too to join them too as well? If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna look it up. You guys go on top.
But there should be, but no, I like overall. It's still both teams in Los Angeles, the favorite to win, with a couple other teams that can make some noise behind them. The Warriors lost Clay, which is a huge blow. They'll probably still make some noise, but like I said, I'm happy this year. I'm really excited for Kyrie and KD to be together. I'm interested to see what Anthony Davis does because I know he says he's returning to the Lakers, but I wonder how many years he's gonna sign for. But I don't mean to jump ship here, but I am looking forward to watching Bulls basketball once again. Though I don't expect them to make noise as far as a deep run. I can see them giving teams a run for their money, trying to fight here and there for the 8th seed. But I think it's going to be exciting to watch Bulls basketball again.
I definitely agree, man. And I was a huge Bulls fan when during the Thibodeau days with Bulls, with Noah, Rose, Dang, and all them. And since that team got disbanded, it kind of fell apart, especially with them rebuilding. But there's a lot of hype, there's a lot of excitement around that team. And the Serge Ibaka move going to the Clippers is underrated.
Yes,
That
very
the
underrated.
Clippers got better with him. With him than without him. I mean, then, yeah, they lost Joakim Noah to retirement, or they let him go. But
Oh,
Serge Ibaka is huge. The huge pickup for them. Huge pickup.
yeah, definitely. And they also got Reggie Jackson to go along with Nicholas Batum too as well. At going to the Clippers, and obviously today's date, you got like I said, Westbrook to the Wizards in exchange for a Wall and a first round pick. LeBron staying in LA, which is probably what was going to happen. Probably AD is probably going to do the same thing, but a 1 year deal. Waiting. I think he's going to wait on the Giannis Antetokounmpo deal, who's becoming a free agent. I think next year, if I'm not mistaken. So the NBA, they do a lot of. They know how to make a lot of noise. As you can see, John's the one right there. Uh, uh, they know how to make a lot of noise when noise isn't really being made, and the NBA is doing a fantastic job on it. It's a players' league. It's going on there. The NBA is excited. Last week was the draft, and I think everybody was kind of a little bit kind of shaky on the situation with who the Bulls drafted at number 4. I know Jose was one of those that didn't like the Bulls pick up at number 4. Well, not didn't like, but was kind of hesitant on the
On
pick
the fence
because
about
they
it,
had
you know.
I
right.
was
Jose was
Go ahead.
like, "Who?"
Right.
It was surprising to me.
It definitely was a surprise, but I think it's a good gamble. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I really think going into this year, like I said, I don't expect it to make noise. I do think they'll give a lot of teams run for the money, but I think this is a year where we get to see what Bulls are gonna be a part of the core, going forward in the year. Who's gonna get let go of next year? That as far as that's expectations that I'm going into leading this year. Who which guys are gonna be like our league players? Like Eric mentioned, Joakim retired. You know, like it's time for us to fall in love with Bulls basketball again, and we get to see players being used right. It's because let's be honest, it's been a disaster. These last
Well,
Bulls years have been a disaster.
well, the reason why I was surprised is because I didn't know. I don't know much about Patrick Williams. I really
Right.
didn't. For me
I
to
don't think
say
anybody did, to be
right,
honest.
I mean, it was hard this year because there was no college basketball for us.
right, but see,
There was no hype around nobody really.
at the same time, that actually gives me hope because if you look at Arturas's track record in Denver, look at all those Denver Nuggets players. A lot of them you don't know who the hell they are. They're just out there, but they're good. They're consistent, and kudos to the people who develop them, right? But that's the kind of like, environment, that's the kind of culture he wants to bring to the Bulls, and I'm all for it, man. I mean, they made it to the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers, the Denver Nuggets. If we could do that here in Chicago, and you bring in players that you're not too familiar with, but ones who are going to develop, who are going to be consistent, and overall be good players, I'm all for it. That's why I trust Arturas' vision, and I'm gonna sit here and I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm gonna root for my team, man.
100%, baby.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those exciting years for the Chicago Bulls, like you guys said. I think we're all in agreement here for the first time in about 5 years, maybe 4 or 5 years.
Probably.
Yeah, probably that we're excited about Chicago Bulls basketball, and it has been a while since we've been excited about Bulls basketball here too as well. And to be honest, Jose's right. It's the exciting. Like, if we have something to look forward, Jose just said the Denver Nuggets, the team that Arturas came from, literally was just in the Western Conference Finals this year with Donovan Mitchell, players that who kind of knew but not really.
Oh, that's the Utah Jazz, buddy. That was Donovan Mitchell's on the
No, that
Jazz.
was Utah. You're right. You're right. Damn,
Awkward.
awkward as hell. Anyways, but you're right. You're right. To go back and say
You don't
yes,
even know.
that's what we
That's the
want.
point. You don't even know. They're just good, consistent players. There's not really
Exactly.
a solid player on the team.
I know they were there though. I know they were there.
But then it takes time. It takes time. We're going to take time for the Bulls to be where the Nuggets were, and to be honest, it's exciting. It's kind of cool. We know what we got in Wendell. We don't know what we got in Laurie. Does losing Chris Dunn really mean anything? We got Kobe White, who was a promising player before COVID. We have Zach LaVine, who's a rising star. We have
All-star.
right. It's just players that there's a young core that we got, along with Thaddeus Young, along with Otto Porter Jr. Now we got
But
Patrick
speaking of
Williams.
him, I missed it. I forgot to look it up. I got busy. Y'all know I got kids. I I hear they're trying to shop Porter Jr. for something about his social media, a video surface on the internet about him. Did you guys hear anything about that?
I'm on it.
I
I am.
didn't hear much about it, but I know
I seen like the headline like this morning or late last night that they're openly trying to get rid of him because the video, or I think it's like an unprofessional video surfaced of him.
now if you
And I
do that,
was,
right, that says something about this regime. Like we're not gonna trade talent for stupidity. You know what I'm saying? Like we want
right.
players with integrity on this team, and I like that, man. Like I said, this is
Hell
for
yeah.
once we don't have Garner and Pax just yapping and giving us all this inconsistent.
It's like,
Basically what
it's a breath of fresh air for us, man.
Hey man, basically what
That's what it
Nagy's
is.
giving us now was we had that for Garner Pax for I don't know how long, and
For real.
you know what I mean. Finally, that's gone. That's out the window. We have excitement, and man, the Bulls. I'm ready to watch every game like I used to. I'm
Oh, it's
excited.
awesome, bro. I'll watch every other game.
I don't know about every game. Same. I'll probably watch every
I love
once in
basketball.
a while.
Basketball.
You know, I mean, I love basketball too. It's just like I'll get into it if obviously if it's the Bulls, I'm into it. But if it's like
He's a
anybody like
bandwagon,
out of market
let's be
teams,
honest.
I'll watch it here and there and then just probably like give up on it. I don't know if that's just me, but whatever.
When the Bulls in their heyday, man, I swear I watched even like during the Rose era, even during the Rose.
With
I
the
would know
Rose
the
era,
outcome.
every
I
game,
know-
baby.
I would know the
Every
outcome.
game.
I would DVR it and still watch the DVR, even knowing that
Same.
they won.
I
My
that
homework
that
was
brings
done after Bulls games.
that brings us back to the Chicago locker room days when we were just watching the games night in and night out, and
Literally.
not be and still watch it at the end of the day. Speaking of the Bulls' heyday, yeah, very sad news. I think more on my part, and then probably for everybody else too. Joakim Noah actually retiring at the end of the year, 13 years in the
Gonna
league,
retire the Bulls.
and yeah, he's gonna retire a Bull. He's gonna get that 1 day contract where he's a Bull, and then
Yeah.
he's gonna just retire a Chicago Bull.
Of course.
Um,
He better.
guys, your favorite Joakim Noah moment as a Bull, or maybe overall in a career, is what? I think I know mine.
Of course.
I'll-
I have a chance that it might be the same for all of us right now.
I think so too. Go ahead.
Mine's
What
gonna
is
be
it?
the series against Boston, where he
Okay,
where he,
when he went all out, when they went all 7.
And those
yeah,
three
but he was
overtime
like,
games.
he was gonna throw hands at everybody from Boston.
He really was. Yeah, you could tell the baby
And
Bulls
ever
weren't really
since
that
then,
babies.
He was like the number one hated guy in Boston since that series.
Jose?
Man, it's tough, man. Joakim Noah is definitely one of my favorite Chicago Bulls. But I don't know. Honestly, there's really not one, but I think just him in general being that guy, being that dog, like bro,
Right.
like everyone hated him. He was the one people love to people love to hate. But
I
that was
love
our
him.
boy. You know what I
I
mean?
love him.
He would get into fights. He would get into. And
That's my guy.
He was the Andrew Shaw. How Andrew Shaw was to those championship Blackhawks. How he was gritty. And that's what Noah was to the Bulls.
Yep, definitely, most definitely. My favorite Noah moment, that press conference that he
I
had.
knew that was coming. I knew that was
Like-
coming, bro.
Like Cleveland,
I knew
like
it.
y'all like Cleveland, I mean, you don't hear anybody say I want to go to Cleveland on vacation, do you?
I knew that was.
I think that what became Joakim Noah
That's like the
overall
most
as the most
savage
hated man in
moment.
the world, and I love it. He's exactly savage moment, and it's for him to be with the Bulls, night in night out. The year that Derrick Rose was, I think, his second year coming back, or he tore his MCL or whatnot. Like he literally took over the team, became the defensive player of the year and whatnot.
Yeah.
Had a few votes for his MVP. And if it wasn't for Tibbs, I think Tibbs literally like brought him up, but also at the same time ran him down because he wasn't the same after his plantar fasciitis injury. And for Joakim to retire, it's a sad day. For me, it is very sad because he's literally I'll put him above Derrick Rose, but that's just me personally.
Wow, bro,
That's me
foul.
personally. That's me
Can't
personally
do it.
because of the style that he is. Like Joakim
Can't
Noah
do
to
it.
me represented Chicago how it is: grit, grind, and heart and soul. Joakim Noah, knowing he was from, and he said in his press conference when he was first drafted, he was a kid from New York. He loved playing the Knicks, had every reason to hate the Bulls, and now he loved the Bulls, and he showed it night in and night out on the court. He showed it, in every game. He showed it in the playoff series. He showed it the year that he won Defensive Player of the Year. Like this man put his heart, sweat, tears, soul into this game. He made the Chicago Bulls semi-hated, but also at the same time loved and beloved by the whole state of Chicago. Just because of him, obviously Derrick Rose was a big part of it too as well. You got Luol Deng on there, you got Captain Kirk on there too as well. Like you add all these other players too as well. The bench mob and Kyle Korver, and the list goes on and on and on and on. That the team that we
Ronnie Brewer,
exactly. Like that team we all fell in love with, and he was part of it, and he was literally the oil, the machine, the heart, the soul of that whole roster. That's right to me. And to keep Bogan, man. Man, you know what? I was about to go. I was about to hit the ghetto button and start doing gangs and stuff. But I'm keeping it real. I'm controlling it. But Joakim Noah to me, and this is just to me, and whether you guys want to spark an argument and later on Facebook, it doesn't really matter. But to me, Joakim Noah is my favorite Bull, and I put him above Derrick Rose for those obvious reasons.
Not to mention he had your favorite number, huh?
And not to mention that dude rocks the best numbers in the world.
That's number 13. You can't put him above Rose.
Oh, Noah definitely top 3. Top 3.
Noah top 3.
I look again. I'm talking about the Bulls overall, like what we grew up, who we watched, the team that our era, the team that we grew up watching, the team that you guys think that they should have won the NBA championship, and the team that said that I don't. I'm talking about.
I'm still putting Rose over him. I'm still putting Jimmy Butler over him.
Oh, I don't know.
Honest, I'll probably put Kirk Heinrich over him.
I think Rose is the only person I would put over Noah.
I think that's the only simple argument.
Only reason being is because Rose also embodies everything Chicago is. You get down, you get back up. Doesn't matter. You don't care what other people think about you.
No matter what. Like, bro, we still want him to come back.
Get down, you get back up.
The
man is still playing in the NBA. The man is still playing in the NBA. How many times does he have to go down and get back up? He doesn't quit.
Bro, I know when you seen his 50-point game, that was real tears, bro. He worked his ass off.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Literally, that's what we are made of, bro.
When he was in Chicago, he got down and he never got up again. So it was whatever.
He got up.
Whatever. I'm just going.
One of his biggest highlights that they always play on ESPN was when after the second MCL tear when he hit that game winner over
game winning 3.
The game winning 3 against Cleveland. Yeah, I know.
That was after he got up twice from getting
right. You already know. And guess who grabbed him at the end? Joakim Noah.
I know, that's my boy.
It's always them two, and it was them two always together. And so Saturday. The NBA has been crazy this past couple weeks ever since free agency started in the NBA draft. So we will talk about that a little later on. We'll make a quick commercial break when we come back. Yeah, we ran on going on, but we had to because it was Joakim Noah, and again, my favorite Bull in this era that happened within the last 10 years. My favorite Bull over Derrick Rose. That's me. What do you guys think? Where do you guys put? I mean, we know overall Joakim was top 10, right? Maybe even top 5. Definitely top 10, maybe top 5, depending on how you want to put him. But in this Bulls era, this current Bulls era within the last 10 years, Joakim Noah, to me, to Eric Saul Avila, is my number one. Come back. We're going to finish talking about the Bears game on Sunday. What do you guys think? Do you guys even care? Well, let us know here at the John Coffee Sports Podcast here.
Hey everybody, it's Jose here from the JCA Sports Podcast. I wanted to inform you that you have the opportunity to promote your business on our show. That's right, we can give you and your business a shout out live on our show. All you have to do is slide into our DMs. Leave the info and we can help spread the word out on your business. All we ask in return is that you do the same for us. A shout out for a shout out. Tag us on your page for all your friends to hear us break down the world of sports the only way we know how. It's the JCA Sports Podcast weekly on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Spotify.
John Conavi Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live. You can hear the edit version on Spotify, Anchor, and now YouTube. Yes, we have a YouTube page following us. Maybe we'll put that up too as well on our YouTube page. Jonathan Konabi, Eric Alia, Jose Contreras, Jonathan Playo, in that order. Guys, Bears game on Sunday. Guys, do you even care? Let's just put it plain and simple. Do you guys even care about the
Absolutely,
game
I
on Sunday?
care, boy. Every game, we bear down 24/7, 365, 366 on leap year. I bleed blue and orange, baby. You see this? You see this? I bleed this. I do this.
I care for
But
a different reason.
before we go into Jose's little, John, I love the festive. What is it? Can koozies that you got? I love them. You're in the festive holidays. Those are great. Let me holler at one. Probably next week or so.
Bro, I got yours right here. Look. Boom. I got you. Matter of fact,
Yes, yes.
right here. Let's go.
JCA,
Let's
baby.
go. Let's do it. When we do our show live next time, we better have them before the holiday. We'll probably have a show before the holidays where we're all together. One last time for the year before the year ends. I think we should do that. That'd be great. Jose, do you even care about the game on Sunday?
I do, but for a different reason. I think the Matt Nagy is on the hottest seat he could ever be in right now. I think his comments, what he said about the game last time, really made him a villain. He's scrutinized over the comments, he's scrutinized over the game, the play calling, everything. So that being said, I'm interested to see how the Bears come out next week, because the more and more they give us this horrible play, this horrible team, everything, the hotter his seats gets. And again, I'm looking because I want change. I want it now. I want Pace out. I want Nagy out. I'm always gonna be rooting for the Bears because again, like John said, I bleed orange and blue, right?
Right.
At the same time, if they lose, good riddance. You know what I mean? Plain and simple, man.
9-7, hopefully. No, not even that. No.
Man.
Lose every game from here on out.
Lose every game from here
I'm
on out.
hoping for 9-7.
No,
I can see it happening.
I don't want no winning record. Not with this regime. I want no excuses for them to stay, Eric. None.
What were we last year? 8-8, right? Last year?
Yeah, I want to
Mate, I think this year is a lot worse than last year, even though the expectations were a lot more higher, thinking that we were going to do something great
Like I
last
said
year.
earlier, if they can fire Lovey from a 10-6 record, they need to fire Nagy for whatever record he ends this season with. Plain and simple.
Those
I
are
think
facts.
his job secured. Because even if we lose, we have a losing record this year, it's only his first losing record here. That's why I think his job is safe.
I'm just gonna change that, man. I don't know what to tell you guys. We're gonna have another year of this horrible season.
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of difficult.
Jump
Like,
ship, bro.
right.
I'll
Like you
never
guys
jump
said.
ship. I will never jump ship. But I'm a realist. I'm a realist at the end of the day. I'm gonna be rooting for my Bears every game, but at the same time, like, come on, man, it's not gonna hurt me when they lose again. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not gonna be sitting here crying over it. Like, no.
100%. No, I hear you 100%, and I think that's how I feel too. I'm I've been for the last couple games, for the last couple weeks prior to the Packers game. I've been because of the same reason. Like, it's the same stagnant offense with a different quarterback. It looked bad at first. I thought it was Mitch, still Mitch. Then it's now Nagy, still Nagy. Then it's Foles. It's all the above. Yeah, that's what it is. It's all the above, and it's been all the above ever since day one. And you know what? At the end of the day, it is what it is. We got what we got. This is what we have. And if the Bears pull off a 9-7, 10-6, 11-5, whatever the record they could finally get after this 10-6 or 9-7 or even 8-8 here on out, or the roles could be reversed and the win-lose column. At the end of the day, I still bleed blue and orange. This is the toxic relationship that I've been talking about, that I've always been and have been for the last couple of years, where by this time, the only reason why I don't leave is because the holidays are right around the corner and I kind of have to buy a gift because I've been with her since August before training camp. And now that, I finally realized why I broke up with her in the first place, and it's starting to come back. By the time the holidays are over, I'm like, all right, cool, I'm single back again. Wait till August till she comes back, when our bodies are a lot more tighter, a lot more toner, and then we're back at it again in August. And I mean, it's just the toxic relationship that I have. Yeah, I know. Granted, I don't care, but it's the toxic relationship that we have with the Chicago Bears year in and year out. Even the 2018.
Are we still talking about the Bears?
Yes, we still are. We still are. We still are. But yeah, to go back at it, man, like, even the 2018, as exciting as it was, years prior, we had to wait almost 8-7 years to have that playoff taste, and we got it, and we fell flat, and now we're back at it again. Like, if we just missed the playoffs, like if we've never been to the playoffs in the last 10 years. It's frustrating. It sucks. It's it's hard to see at times, and
It's
at the end of the day,
heartbreaking.
it's heartbreaking.
depressing.
And at the end of the day, here I am every Sunday at
Loving
noon,
them all
sitting on my
over.
couch with my Bears hoodie, shirt, hat, shorts, underwear, socks, sandals, everything all on, and it's just I get the same result, And let's hope for a Bears win, guys.
We're legit that meme of the guy dressed in the Joker face with his Bears gear on and looking in the mirror every Sunday. But that's how we go. We got to write it out for our team.
You know what? It is what it is. Let's hope for a Bears W. I want a Bears victory Monday. Just one more time. Something. They let me be happy. At least. All I ask is for the Bears to play on my birthday weekend. That's all I ask. I don't think that's hard. I think that's divisional if I'm not mistaken. That's all I ever ask.
Fun fact, we got the same birthday weekend.
We do have the same birthday weekend. So, I mean, that's all I ask. Like, literally, that's all I ask. I don't think that's pretty hard. But for the Bears, they're making it impossible for me to enjoy my birthday very, very exciting. I was hoping for a Bears playoff, celebrate my dirty 30s, but it looks like I'm just going to celebrate my dirty 30s with 6 other teams playing that day, but whatever. It is what it is. Guys, I miss you guys. Bears win on Sunday, John?
Yes, sir. They're winning Sunday.
Jose?
Yeah, they're winning.
They're going to end
We're
the
winning on
streak.
Sunday. We got the hope. We got the hope of that, guys. I miss you guys. We should start doing this as a ritual again.
I don't know.
We should do this again. We miss you guys. We will be back here next week, hopefully. Talk about more Bears, talk about more basketball, talk about baseball, talk about almost everything that we didn't get to baseball today, but it's okay. We'll get on it soon.
It's okay.
We got a lot to talk about.
Coming up, I'm going to have my baseball podcast coming up soon. I have a date with hopefully tomorrow. So look
There
out
you
for
go.
that.
We got it. Look into that. All right, guys. Thank you very much. This is John Konavi Sports Podcast here live on Facebook. Get the edited version on YouTube. Get the edited version on Spotify. Get the edited version on Anchor. Get it here, even on Facebook itself. We might edit that too as well. Who knows? We could edit almost everything thanks to that man, Jose Contreras, right there. As for Eric Avila, Jose Contreras, John Teclayo, guys, thank you. We love you. We see you all next week.
Love you guys. Be safe.